course, you are tuned in to Rewind. My name is Martin, and I'm with you on Coastal Radio SA, Vol Stereo, as well as Radio South Africa. Beven, I would like to welcome you to our little radio station. It's what an honor and a privilege to have you guys on board with us this morning.
Thanks, Martin. I really appreciate you having me. Appreciate it.
Beven, LDV. Of course, we've now spoken extensively about the brand this morning. We were diving into, the product range, and we were looking at the specs and the pricing and so on and so forth. However, you were one of the, if not the key player in bringing LDV into South Africa from Australia, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct. Yeah, that's right.
Give us a bit of the history on the vehicle itself, because a lot of people don't know where you guys actually come from.
Yeah, sure. So look, LDV, one of the first questions people have is, what does it stand for? What is LDV? So the acronym actually stands for Leyland DAF Vans, which for those older listeners would have been synonymous with a great British brand. So an English brand, actually from 1896. They started with delivery vans and then expanded into a broader network and of model selection. Now, they were bought over by the Chinese in the early 2000s into a Chinese manufacturer called Shanghai Automotive Import Corporation, or SAIC, S-A-I-C.
I actually know SAIC.
Okay,
yes.
There you go.
I spent a bit of time in China many years ago, yeah.
Okay, yeah. So they're actually one of the largest, if not the largest manufacturer in China. I think they do something like 6 million units annually, production units.
I think just for our listeners, they don't have a factory, they've got a town. They actually have a city.
Absolutely, yeah.
So,
I've been to a few of the 2 or 3 of the factories there. And like you say, you walk into this factory and it's kind of bigger than some of our South African towns.
It is massive.
It's massive. Huge scale.
And I think the other thing that people need to realize is no longer Hong Kong. This is the highest technology. If you walk in there, it is the highest technology as far as you can see. It's on the floor.
100%. I was in Shanghai in March of 2024 and went up to a couple of their factories, one specifically where they make the double cab bakkie, the LDV bakkie. And like you say, small town, the technology is unbelievable. Thousands and thousands of employees working there and just the sight to behold. So technology, the advancements of the Chinese technologies is unbelievable.
It is just amazing. So you spend a lot of time in Australia, of course, with the brand LDV, and it's one of the top-selling vehicles for the past 6 years, if I'm not mistaken.
So when I spent 16 years in Australia. I wasn't in the auto trade there.
Okay.
I'm actually an accountant by trade, and then for my sins got into the auto trade once I came back to South Africa in 2016.
Done.
Yeah.
Well done.
So, but in Australia, the LDV brand has been around for about 12 years. Australia was actually one of the first export markets for LDV out of China. And they do phenomenally well there. I think they're selling just over 20,000 units annually across all of the ranges.
I was just told, sorry, I've got Andrew Schemmel who's tuned in. He's in Australia. He says it's not a bakkie, it's a ute.
It's a ute, exactly right. So, yeah, we call them bakkies in Australia. We call them utes, or utility vehicles.
Yes.
But so the success was quite evident in Australia, and the similarities in the consumer tastes and preferences are quite identical in terms of the bakkies and the utes. The Aussies like their utes, they like the outdoors, they like their 4x4ing, the practicality of the ute, and we like our bakkies for the exact same reasons. The practical, we've got potholes here that can people can live in, and the guys like their 4x4 and they like their camping weekends. So the similarities in the product lineup were evident, or they were there, and the success of the Australian LDV sales, we leveraged off that, and we thought if they can do well in Australia, it can do well in South Africa. The Aussies are, the consumer protection rights are quite high too. So of all the Chinese brands that could have gone into Australia, LDV was one of the first. And the feedback from the consumer was, resounding positive. So we used all of that when we wanted to launch into South Africa. And as you would have heard, we've launched a few months ago, and we're growing from strength to strength so far.
Now you're bringing in your commercial range.
Correct.
Which is I'm very excited about that side of things, because all of a sudden now your range is bigger, and price competitiveness and product competitiveness. This is what I like to see, because there are so many guys who are so sort of settled. I don't want to use the word, and I'm going to use it, monopolizing the industry. And here comes LDV and saying, guys, we've got something that's going to suit your pocket, and it's going to deliver more than what you're buying at the moment.
complacent might be a good word.
There we go. Complacent. Love it.
So you're exactly right. We've had a lot of the big brands in South Africa entrenched for many years, enjoying superior profits. And as Neil touched on earlier, you would have seen the last few years that the Chinese competition coming into the South African ecosystem is only accelerating. We expect that to continue accelerating over the next few years, at the expense of the German brands, etc. So that will continue to happen. Touching on your point of our commercial expansion, we purposefully launched on the double cab bakkie because of the success in Australia, but also because we're a bakkie nation. We love our bakkies, right? So it is a highly competitive segment, your double cab bakkies, your Toyota Hilux. To get somebody out of their Toyota Hilux is, trying to separate them from their child almost. So get them into a new brand is tricky. So we did choose a competitive segment, but I stick by the fact that it was a good first choice in terms of the model. But you cannot be a one model brand. So we're increasing our model lineup. We've got a 7-seater SUV coming soon. We've got a newer, kind of bigger, more futuristic looking bakkie. And then we've got the commercial lineup in the next few months too.
I have to mention the brand Jetua.
Yes.
I actually know the guys quite well. I did their very first radio interview.
All right.
When they launched, I did the very first radio interview and was actually with their retail outlet in Cape Town.
Gotcha.
You guys are then going to sort of come in with your SUV competing directly with them amongst the other brands.
Yes.
Because they've got a good product out there. I've got to mention, I've been in it, I've seen it. So, but you are taking it to the next level.
Yes.
With your vehicle.
Yeah. So, look, the Chinese competition across all makes and models, I think, will continue to increase. We sell 500,000 vehicles in South Africa, as a collective auto industry. So it's a big market. So there's a lot of segmentation, with only a few key players up until recently. So like I say, I think that segmentation is going to shift. The Chinese players are going to take more of the market share in the next 3 to 5 years, and the passenger sedan market is already highly competitive with Chinese brands coming in. We're focused more on the light commercial vehicles with the bakkies, but we will have a couple of models in the passenger range. The SUV, the D90 it's called, in our stable. And that'll be 160 kilowatts, bi-turbo, same engine as the T60 Max.
Okay, because I was on the road with the T60 Max.
Yeah, so the engine is actually quite a monster. And then in the commercial lineup, we're looking forward to getting into that too. So smaller market sizes in the commercial, but still we've got some competitive models that we're looking forward to launching here.
Neil, I'm stoked for this because we find ourselves in a market at the moment as vehicle buyers that new vehicles are just too expensive for most of us to reach. And, if you're looking at a vehicle spec-wise, possibly even second-hand, pre-owned. I've got to use pre-owned. I'm looking at $1 million plus for a solid prop. And here you guys come in for 700,000 odd.
Yes.
A brand new vehicle.
Correct.
With zero or no mileage on it.
Yeah.
And you offer the industry norm of 5-year, 200,000 kilometers.
So factory warranty 5-year, 200,000. Local service plan 5-year, 100,000.
And then also the roadside assist, or
correct, which is included in the service plan. Yeah. So same 5-year, 100,000 Ks.
And it's amazing. And then you also, of course, do your in-house financing, and you've got the normal financiers out there. I actually have another group that I'm going to introduce to you guys. I will put you two in touch with one another.
Thank you.
They're also in the financing industry on Automotive, and they deal with some other guys as well. So I think it's just sort of a nice collective that we could put together there. I do weird interviews. I speak to weird and wonderful people.
Interesting.
Just because we do things differently.
Why not?
But I want to thank you again for the use of the vehicle. I'm really looking forward to being able to do some more stuff with you guys. I think it's on the way. I'll speak to your marketing guys. They're already saying to me, no, you've got too much happening. But we'll have a chat with them. But I want to wish you all the best to moving forward with LDV. I see that not only in the new vehicle sales, you guys are really going to corner the industry, but if it comes to new versus pre-owned, and on the bakkie side of things, you've got it.
Yeah, absolutely.
You've got the market.
Thank
you. I have an opinion that the pre-owned market is going to start slipping because you're going to get more bang for your buck brand new.
Yeah, 100%. If you can buy a brand new bakkie for the price of a used, why not? Take the new option.
Exactly. For our listeners, if you want to go and check out LDV, go to the Coastal website. There's already on our front page, the links are there. All the interviews will be loaded onto our website as well before the end of next week. I just got to get back to my studio in Durban, of course, and then we're going to get those sorted out. But otherwise, alternatively, go to LDV Auto.